Deep beneath the earth lies a silent city, a kingdom built for one man's journey into eternity. This is the tomb of Emperor Jing of the Han Dynasty, a place shrouded in secrets for centuries. Modern archaeology has revealed both its magnificence and its unsettling mysteries. Among the treasures, a chilling rumor emerged that Emperor Jing was entombed with 1,000 living servants, sealed inside to serve him forever. The idea of such a sacrifice is shocking, challenging our understanding of a ruler remembered for peace and benevolence. This practice, known as Ren-sun, blurs the line between the physical and spiritual, forcing us to confront the vast differences between our world and the ancient one. The afterlife was a destination requiring elaborate preparation, sometimes at a terrible cost. Did this mass sacrifice truly happen? The question haunts the corridors of history. As we explore Emperor Jing's mausoleum, we must separate myth from fact, guided by the evidence unearthed from the tomb. Each artifact is a clue, helping us reconstruct the reality of life and death in the Han Dynasty. The story of the 1,000 buried servants is powerful and disturbing, but is it the whole story? To find out, we must journey back to the world of Emperor Jing, a world where the demands of the afterlife were as real as life itself. To understand the tomb, we must first understand the man, Emperor Jing or Liu Qi, who ruled China from 157 to 141 BC. His reign, alongside his father's, marked an era of peace and prosperity, known as the rule of Wen and Jing. Jing was a benevolent ruler, reducing taxes and reforming harsh laws, allowing his people to thrive. Yet he was also a shrewd politician, crushing the rebellion of the 7 states to centralize power. His rule balanced kindness with decisive strength. The Han Dynasty believed the afterlife mirrored earthly existence. Status, needs, and comforts continued beyond death. For an emperor, this meant recreating his entire court in the spirit realm. Ministers, guards, concubines, and servants were all considered necessary for his eternal reign. This belief drove the construction of his monumental tomb, not just a grave, but a palace for his soul. Jing's careful governance in life was matched by meticulous planning for his afterlife. The question remains, did his preparations include the ultimate sacrifice? To answer, we must look at the traditions that shaped his world, and at the evidence left behind. Human sacrifice, or Ren-sun, has a long dark history in China. In the Shang dynasty, kings were buried with their wives, guards, and servants, sometimes hundreds at a time. The social hierarchy was absolute, extending into the afterlife. Servants' lives were seen as property, their duty continuing beyond death. Ancestor worship and fear of spiritual wrath reinforced this brutal tradition. But by the Han Dynasty, things changed. Confucian thinkers condemned human sacrifice as barbaric, and rulers began using substitutes, effigies called mingqi. These clay or wooden figures replaced living people in tombs, seen as a more humane solution. The famous terracotta army of Qin Shi Huang marked this transition. For Emperor Jing, reverting to mass sacrifice would have been a shocking step backward. The Han era is remembered for moving away from such cruelty. So, what really happened in Jing's tomb? Emperor Jing's final resting place, the Han Yangling Mausoleum, sprawls near Xi'an, a vast necropolis covering nearly 20 square kilometers. It's more than a tomb, it's an entire imperial city for the afterlife, with burial mounds, pits, temples, and even a workers' town. The emperor's central burial mound remains unexcavated, but archaeologists have explored 81 surrounding pits. These pits, once lined with wood, stored treasures, weapons, and symbolic representations of Jing's court and army. Inside they found coins, jade, lacquerware, and animal bones, provisions for eternity. The level of detail is astonishing, recreating the emperor's opulent lifestyle in miniature. The mausoleum's design reflects deep cosmological beliefs, placing the emperor at the center of a microcosm of his empire. The complex's size and complexity reveal the immense power and resources Jing commanded. Every artifact, from pottery to animal bones, was chosen to serve him in the next world. Yet the most telling discoveries were not what was found, but what was missing. The search for evidence of human sacrifice would soon yield surprising answers. The truth lay buried in clay. The claim that Emperor Jing was buried with 1,000 living servants comes from the Yi, written by Sima Qian. Sima Qian's account is dramatic, but his writings often mixed fact with moral commentary. The mention of mass sacrifice may have been a critique or an echo of older barbaric customs. Archaeology provides the reality check. If 1,000 people were buried, their skeletons would be found. Yet, excavations at Yangling have revealed no such mass graves, only animal bones. Instead, the pits are filled with tens of thousands of terracotta figurines not life-sized but about 60 centimeters tall. These figures represent soldiers, officials, laborers, and court ladies, every role in the imperial court. The evidence points to clay substitutes, not living people, accompanying Jing into eternity. The myth of the 1,000 buried servants is just that, a myth. The real story is even more fascinating. A silent army of clay, not a tomb of screams. The ground itself has spoken. The Yangling Mausoleum's discoveries have revolutionized our view of the Han Dynasty. The terracotta figurines are diverse and lifelike, each with unique expressions and postures. Originally dressed in silk and fitted with wooden arms, they once formed a vibrant miniature court. The figures include infantry, cavalry, eunuchs, and elegant court ladies, reflecting the full spectrum of Han society. This artistic shift from rigid to natural forms reveals a new vision of the afterlife, peaceful, orderly, and human. Beyond the figures, archaeologists found miniature utensils, tools, weapons, and even official seals, suggesting the emperor's government would function in the afterlife. One pit held terracotta farm animals, ensuring a perpetual food supply for the court. The planning was both practical and symbolic. Most significant is what was not found: no evidence of mass human sacrifice. The clay court confirms Jing's reputation as an enlightened ruler. He embraced the humane customs of his era, building a kingdom of clay, not corpses. His legacy is one of progress, not brutality. The tomb's silence speaks volumes. The burial of retainers and treasures with rulers was not unique to China. Ancient Egypt's early pharaohs were buried with sacrifice servants, a practice later replaced by shabti dolls, figurines meant to serve in the afterlife. The shift from human sacrifice to symbolic effigies is a striking parallel. In Mesopotamia's royal cemetery of Ur, kings and queens were buried with their courts. Dozens of attendants perhaps willingly sacrificed. The Mochi of Peru also buried lords with guards, attendants, and immense wealth. These practices reveal a universal belief: a ruler's power and status must continue after death. The move from real sacrifice to symbolic figures marks a major ethical evolution. It reflects a growing recognition of the value of individual life. These changes were not isolated. They were part of a global shift in human morality. The world was once seen as spiritually charged, the afterlife a tangible reality. The story of Emperor Jing's tomb is part of this broader human journey. It's a testament to our capacity for change. From our modern perspective, ancient human sacrifice is horrifying. Our values, individual rights, and the sanctity of life make such practices unthinkable. But to simply condemn the past is to miss a deeper understanding. For ancient people, the afterlife was real, and social order had to be maintained beyond death. Some may have seen sacrifice as duty or honor, others as fate. The shift to symbolic figures, as with Emperor Jing, marked a turning point in human ethics. It showed a new compassion, a recognition that spiritual needs could be met without bloodshed. Studying these rituals forces us to reflect on our own morality. What will future generations judge us for? The story of Jing's tomb is not just history, it's a meditation on power, belief, and the evolution of what it means to be human. It challenges us to look inward. Emperor Jing's silent, miniature empire reminds us that history is alive, constantly rewritten by new discoveries. For centuries, rumors of mass sacrifice haunted his legacy, but archaeology revealed the truth: a kingdom of clay, not corpses. The main tomb remains sealed, its secrets waiting for future explorers. Each artifact unearthed is a piece of our shared human story, of fear, faith, brutality, and compassion. These discoveries connect us to our ancestors, showing that their hopes and fears were not so different from our own. By studying their tombs, we engage in a dialogue with the past, learning from both triumphs and mistakes. The universe is full of stories, written in earth, stars, and memory. Emperor Jing's tomb is one such story, a bridge across time. If you want to keep exploring the mysteries of our past and future, join our community, subscribe, and let's continue this quest for understanding together.